Hey everybody, I'm Jack, and this is Raw Tropical Living. Thanks for joining me today. Beautiful spring day here in my world. Might even get out and get some sunshine. I want to give a big shout out and thank you to those that have already bought some of the new tie-dye t-shirts. And I still have plenty available. Not a big batch, but I have plenty available. You can just send me an email if you're interested. Email, rawtropicalliving@gmail.com. All right, today I want to talk about why now it's now or never for a raw food diet. I do videos every day, so if you haven't already done it, how about hitting that subscribe button for me now? Then clicking on the little bell and checking send notifications so you will stay subscribed to the channel. It's now or never. That's a pretty bold statement, yes. Okay, for all y'all that just live in literal land and hear every literal word, it's not 100% literal. In other words, if you don't do it today, doesn't mean you can't do it. I know somebody would argue just over that little point. Literal people get me, man. I can poke them. I can kind of mess with them, push their triggers, and get them going. So, now or never. All right, I'm always talking about in my videos, when is always the best time to make a change? When is always the best time to do this raw food diet, start a new lifestyle? Now is always the time. Definitely now. And I don't mean this particular point in time, but now at any point in time, if that makes any sense. But if I had to pick one particular time of year that I would more lean towards that is ideal to start this lifestyle, to kind of rededicate yourself to this lifestyle, to get back on track with this lifestyle, would actually be right about now, because we're in early spring. You know, spring has just sprung recently. It's getting warm. Oh, I'm sorry, somebody will give me their tale of woe out there about how cold it is. Okay, I understand it's still cold some places. That's just that's the way the world works. You know, there's certain areas, let me give you some stunning news right here. There's certain areas on this planet, due to the location, the rotation of the sun, where it's located in relation to the sun, blah, 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 that it gets cold. Now, it doesn't just do this one year. It's going to repeat next year. It's going to repeat the year after that. It's going to repeat the year after that. So, if you don't like your location, if you don't like the weather in your location, don't complain to me about it. Yeah, you know, if not now, when? If not now, when? Because most places, like I say, are going to start getting warm soon. Except for my friends in the southern hemisphere. I feel you, Australia. And you know, I don't know the climate there all that much. When you say it's your winter, I don't know how the winters in Australia compare to North America, but I do know that from friends that it's tougher to get fruit over there. So maybe your ideal time is still now, but you would have to flip this over, I guess, what, 6 months, or when your spring is starting to come in. But no, all joking aside, listen, this is the time of the year. Okay, look, there's seasonal excuses. People are always going to pull out. People are always going to pull out the excuses. They're always going to have an excuse built in for every time of the year. And you know what? I wish them the best. I don't pay attention a whole lot, because the excuse people, they're never going to get there anyway. They're going to always have there's always going to be an excuse, always going to be an excuse. And a lot of times when people make excuses in your life, the people that make the most excuses get sensitive about the word excuse, and they start saying, well, it's not an excuse if this or that. Well, maybe it is. Okay, let's go back to the climate thing. And this is kind of a touchy subject. I get all the time, well, I don't get this in my area, or the weather is like this in my area. Those are the two things. It's the elements in the area and what you can get in the area. Elements, what you can get. Those elements are not going to change, you know, unless, you know, we won't get into global warming and the changing climate and blah, blah, blah. Most likely where you're sitting right now, the weather is pretty much the same. You have years that go higher or lower, but your weather has probably been the same for the last 500,000, 2,000 years. So it's not going to change. Now, the availability of what you get in your area. Now, that possibly that can change a little bit, because, you know, the world's getting smaller, everybody's shipping everything everywhere. But why have you chosen That's what I always want to ask people, and they get mad at me when I talk about, you know, being in the, especially when, oh man, you get hate when you live in the tropics. You get hate from people that are doing a raw food diet because they don't like the fact that you're living down there. Or they're always like, well, you're somewhere where it's this and that. I'm like, yeah, I am, because I'm eating a raw food diet. I'm like, why would somebody pick something to do in the most hostile place in the world to do that? That's what I don't get. Now, what I'm saying here, so you know, you don't get your feelings hurt too much, is, all right, you're living somewhere and you're telling me you got a lot of time of the year where it's crazy cold. So there's one part that makes it tough to do a raw food diet. You've got another part of the year where you're not, or a good portion of the year where you're not getting all that much. Okay. Well, then you have several choices in there. I'm not even going to say, well, you should do this or that. Maybe it is radical. I'd be like, okay, if you have this belief that we're supposed to, and sometimes I hear the extremists coming from here, that we're supposed to eat 100% raw, why don't you put yourself into an environment? Why don't you move and get into an environment that is conducive to eating 100% raw? Okay, wait a minute, what's everybody, before your head start exploding, well, not everybody can just pick up. People can't afford to just pick up and move. People have obligations, people have kids, people have family, people have jobs, blah, blah, blah. I understand that. I go back to, once again, why do you choose to do something that's damn near impossible where you are? Why don't you adapt that lifestyle? You know, and yeah, there's the people out there. I know. There's always the person that's in a super. People have, humans can get things done. There's always that. There's an example out there, and somebody will point that out. Well, so and so's doing it there, and it's real tough there. Yes, some people are going to do it, but as you know by now, because I've talked about it enough, I'm a numbers type guy. Not that many people are going to do it. The percentages are low. Yes, for that guy that's doing it in this ultra hostile environment, most people are not. So in that case, you either, you know, you're in a bad environment, but you adapt. I'm not trying to make this some negative like, you know, oh, you can't do it there. I'm just saying ease up on yourself and adapt. Now I've kind of gone off in a direction I didn't really plan going on much. This is just about the timing of the year. But now, think about it. Just keeps getting warmer, warmer. Even if you're cold, even if you're in the northern part of the States, Canada, places in Europe. It's April, today, April 10th, April 11th. It's getting warmer. It's not going to go backwards, in other words. Even if it takes you another month, another 6 weeks or so, it's going forward. So, you know, like I did a recipe video yesterday. Start thinking, start getting ready, start getting excited with warm weather, you know. Start doing, the fruits will start coming out. You're going to be outside more. You're going to be doing stuff, going to activities, going places with your kids. This means you can cut up big fresh fruit salads, salads, just big salads in general. Well, fruit salads, that's a different story, but salads, this is a beautiful time of the year for salads. That's why I really wanted to do that video yesterday and start back on the salad kick. You know, everything about this time of year just says this is the time to do it. And why I say now or never is, once again, I'm not trying to be literal, and yeah, come November, December, I'm still going to try to encourage you to do this, and I'm going to do the requisite how to get through cold weather. And it's going to just kind of keep like the merry-go-round I talked to her about the other day, just spinning and spinning and spinning. And the kind of people that are going to do it are going to do it, and you're going to see the ones that just stay on that, stay on it over and over and over. I'm especially talking to the people today. Look, if you're new to this lifestyle and you're probably like, okay, whatever. I like to talk to the people that are struggling. I like to talk to the faces and the voices and the names and the avatars that I've seen out there for 2 or 3 years now. 2 or 3 years, and they're not doing it. They're not doing it for whatever reason, excuses, real valid reasons. They're not doing it. And there's always, it's that seasonal thing. Well, I'm going to do it then. Oh, spring's here. I'm waiting for spring. Well, now spring's here. This is the ideal time. Do it. What I mean is, if you don't do it now, where are you going to be? Where are you going to be? If you're listening to this right now, whether you're just getting started or whether you're starting over or whatever, think about what I'm saying. If you don't do it now, let's fast forward. Let's fast forward to October, November. now is the time, everything's available to you, it's warm, it's easier. This is the time to set the habit. It's easier to build this habit, to strengthen this habit right now. Then when you get to October or November, you've got 5, 6, 7 months of eating mostly raw, high raw, however high raw you want to go, under your belt. So you're a lot more solid going into that cooler weather, going into that time of the year where you don't have everything available to you, than if, let's fast forward to October or November and you're watching a video on this for the first time and you think it makes sense to, and you want to start it in October or November. Well, even when that rolls around, I'm going to tell you, oh, absolutely you can do it, and you can, but it's not going to be as easy as if you get the habit going now and you have 6 or 7 months of practicing this, doing this, when it's a lot easier. And it's just a lot more natural. So anyhow, like I say, just a little bit of encouragement today. I'm a little bit, even though I'm not down in Costa Rica, I'm a little bit jacked these days because it's spring. There just feels like something in the air. And I want to help some other people get some new beginnings, man. We're going to be going to the beach soon. You know, there's still a couple of months to the summer. If you got a few pounds still to drop, no sweat, no sweat. Even doing it at a slow, steady rate. Think about it. When is Memorial Day? Well, Memorial Day is a little bit less than 2 months, but let's say 2 months from now, the summer's just began, and you could easily, that's 8 weeks, you could lose 2 pounds a week, 16 pounds, you could probably clear up your skin. There's a lot you can do in that time, but now is the time. Anyhow, hope you guys enjoyed this one today. If you like it, please give me a thumbs up, and we will see you again tomorrow. Love you guys. Peace.